Hi everyone, so I wanted to make a video to give you some helpful hints when you're weaving on your cardboard looms. So first common mistake that I see is starting under over, but starting under when you should start over when you should start under. And I know that sounds confusing. So you're gonna use your loom as a map. So we wanna think of it as separate rows that are lining up with these rows. So think of this as row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. There's also rows going left to right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm about to start about my 6th row going from left to right. Now, looking at your loom, if you look at row 1 of this string right here, this white string, you'll know that your weaving string will have to go either under or over. You want to go the opposite of what it is showing you. So it is showing me that my tan is over my white for this row. With this row, my next one that I'm weaving in, we need to start under because that is the opposite. So what I like to do too is I like to just pick up every other string. So under, skip one, pick it up. Skip one, pick up the next one. Skip this row, pick up the next one, skipping, and do the same thing all the way across. You can also notice that I'm weaving kind of close to where it says front, which is about the middle. I'm not trying to weave way down here and I'm not trying to weave way up near the top. So once you get all the way across, there's my weave. Sometimes I like to stick my finger here to stop the string so I know to not pull too tight, okay? Then you shimmy it down. Common mistake that I also see is pulling too tight. So look at the difference here. If I pull too tight on this string, look what it does to this up and down row. Okay. If that does happen, just pull it back and loosen it up. These strings are gonna be pretty loose. Right? Other common mistake is weaving under when you should go over. So for example, if I'm looking at this string right here, the tan is under the white. Now I want you to see what will happen if I go under again when I start going left. So if I do the same thing as the row underneath it, I'm weaving along, it looks right, I'm doing the weaving right, but when I go to pull my string, it has nothing to catch on. It's not catching on that string. So watch what happens. It just pulls right out, okay? That means you're gonna have to reweave back this way and then make sure you're on the right row over here. Another thing too that you're gonna do is you're gonna weave until your string is gone. So I'll let this part fast forward so you can kind of see what it looks like when there's a bunch of weaving done. All right, so if I measure with my string, I'm about gonna run out of string on this next line. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna pick my next color and I wanna get about 2 arms length worth of string, or if you want less of this color, take less string. I'm just taking my yarn and I'm cutting it off here. Now, common mistake too, or something that gets kind of hard, is when you need to take your old string and knot it to your new string. So I want to re-show you these knots. It's the first part of tying your shoe. So you're going to take your strings. I have one in one hand, one in the other hand. I'm going to cross them. The letter that they make is an X. Okay. The way I like to think about this too is arms and legs. So these two are the legs, these two are the arms. You're gonna take one arm, put it through the legs, and bring it back up like he's raising his hands to throw a party. Woohoo, throwing a party. Okay. Next thing you do is cross the arms again with an X. You'll see there's a nice little circle right here. I want you to put one of the arms through the circle and put it up like he's raising his hand again, and then pull the arms tight. This gets you that double knot so you can continue weaving with your next color, fine. If you want to too, you can also trim those arms off so that when you continue weaving, that knot does not get stuck on anything. So I'll let this part fast forward so you can see what the yellow looks like on the loom. You can also notice too, when I go back and forth, I'm using the end of my string that I'm weaving with. So I like to just work with less string, it gets less tangled, and I'm just gonna continue skipping one, going under, over, under, over. So I've been able to weave along quite a bit on my weaving. One more common mistake that I wanted to show you is when you're weaving, if say you're going on string 1, 2, and 3, if you go under, then over, over on accident, I want to show you what that looks like. So if you accidentally skip the wrong way, so right here I go under white, over here, then under again. If I continue weaving like that, the weave will look wrong, and when you continue, it'll look wrong. So you'll see right here, it's okay, and it goes over, over, and then it's matching the one underneath it. We don't want that because your weave won't hold in place. If that does happen, all you have to do is unweave it to the point of the mistake. So my mistake was right here, so I'm unweaving to there, and then I'm continuing. You'll be able to see these mistakes while you weave. So if it doesn't look like a basket or a basket weave or almost like a checkerboard, you'll know that you'll have to unweave and fix. So when I pull it straight, this is what it should look like. It should have that woven almost like a clothing pattern. Perfect, so you get the idea of what this should look like. Notice how my up and down strings are not going like this. If they start to go like this, it means you're pulling too hard. To loosen it, you need to loosen it with your left to right string. So if they get too tight, spread them out. Notice how loose this is down here. Those are some common mistakes that I do see with the weaving. Hopefully that helps you out.